Hey everyone, we're here with the grand final of the Snark Nova 4 tournament. It's not a live game, it's a replay. We're just going to review it today. But first, little shout out to our sponsor, the Emu Cup. Got this today from my sister, thank you very much. In all its AI generated power, it is the actual Emu Cup. Very tasty. Hey everyone that's ready here. Hey Harp Attack, hey Maro, hey Lix. So yeah, unfortunately for us, I was planning on showing both the semi-final games from Snark Nova 4, but both the replays are basically unwatchable. There is a good and a bad side to that. The bad side is that they're unwatchable, but the good side is that replays seem to be fixed up now, ever since the Marine Worlds patch came in with the animation speeds. Like if you can see the out of 3 or out of 5 card counter, these replays should all be working without any bugs. That's been my experience so far, so we should be able to watch this one uninterrupted. Just going to make sure the animation speed is set to fast, yep. Okay, so this is the grand final. From 64 players down to 2, we have 50 Grosz against dmannaioni. We are going to look at this from 50's point of view, because he is the first player in this match on Commercial Harbour. And this is half the opening hand from the thumbnail. When you're in a grand final in a very high rated tournament, really not the first 4 cards you want to be seeing in your hand. Basically 4 unplayable, 3 of the meanest cards in the game, I would say. But the real saving grace of this hand is being first player and having a matching small animal with the base project of Americas, so the Quadi is a very easy pick here. Otherwise, well, I mean, these 4 don't offer very much at the moment, so I think you're fine keeping the small animals project, already basically halfway there to supporting it with the Quadi. The Asia release does have some upside. There's a Uni on 5 and Partner Zero on 8, so pretty important to win those races. And then the last pick, 50 decides to keep the Big Nose Monkey. It is a big Asia release, it's extremely unplayable, but the good thing is on Commercial Harbour, at the very worst, it can just be sold for 3 money, so you could argue to keep the Waza large, but also because we're starting with a Partner Zoo, it's not going to be playable for a very long time, so I think these are fine picks. And his end goals are Large Animal Zoo and Architectural Zoo. Opening display does look pretty interesting. We obviously have a Sun Bear, we have a Vet, which is a bit less exciting when we're starting with Partner Zoos, but D-Man does have cards at 5, and Sun Bear does relate to Asia Project. So first move building. I thought a bit about the first move, because it's true that we don't have to associate first move, because D-Man's Asso starts at 2, so we can get the America's Partner Zoo either way. But my thinking of just using Asso first anyway is we don't really want to stay in this round. We want Association at 5 to start next round, which means I'd probably just use it first. But it does start with a 2 size. D-Man starts by building a 1 size connected to the harbour. Now is when we grab the America's Partner Zoo, just so there's no risk of it being denied. D-Man does cards here to snap up the Sun Bear, of course. And now I think it's a good time to just break 5, put pressure on D-Man, make him take Hand Size University. You can either play the Quadi or you can just do cards after that. But instead he goes for connecting to the harbour and drawing a random card. And I don't think I would have done this. I guess it's tempting to connect anyway to start selling some of these cards instead of discarding them. But he actually hits the Miracle Anaconda with this card draw. Could you ask for a better animal? It fits the America's base project. It's a size 2 animal that we just built a size 2 for. It allows him to do 2 small animals next round instead of America's 2. Now he's more tempted to go for America's 5 with 3 America's tags. Basically the perfect draw. And can start selling some of the useless cards. Calculated. Very, very small odds for that to happen, but it paid off big time. D-Man does grab hand size. I think now you have a few choices. You can either play one of them. I think you can just break 5 as well. But decides to do cards at 4, which is... I don't know. You don't really mind discarding the Asia release in case you find something better. But I think you always want to keep Kawadi Anaconda Small Animals. Which makes this card draw a little bit useless because there's not too much that we could find that's better than these. And you already have a card to sell with the Asia release. So it does sell the Australia release. And D-Man just takes this opportunity to break 5 here. Does not have a sponsor himself. So that means that we will have to discard 2 cards. Pretty interested in what D-Man has with this one size when he's taken hand size to start with. He does have 5 cards in hand. We see Guided School Tours appears, which could be pretty useful. Guided School Tours is something that would allow us to get the Uni on 5. After we do like Small Animals 2, America's 2 would be aligned to then play this and get Uni on 5. Could also look at upgrading Association or something. But now starts the round off with just breaking 5 because no sponsor to play. I think that's reasonable. Wait, I think it's a much stronger move than Xing it back. You might as well get the 5 money. I don't think he particularly cares that it's going to be a quick round. D-Man wants to build again. So builds a 2 size, takes the rock monitor. Which is a little bit curious. The sunbathing ability is obviously not that great on this map. It doesn't match a base project, so could be signaling that he has a project related to it. Could also be signaling he's looking at the Mamba coming straight after it. Hey Zephy. Okay, we do play both of them obviously, so we can do small animals. Don't get to do constriction, but still fine. And now D-Man starts with the Barn Owl. That does make a bit more sense why the Rock Monitor now. Barn Owl is giving you 2 extra cards, then it's a really good combo actually. It would be better if it wasn't on Commercial Harbor, but just Perception into Sunbathing is very strong. Immediately sells some of the extra cards. Well, tellingly sells none of the extra cards. That means his hand is probably stacked. 6 out of 5 and not selling anything, that should be alarm bells. Meanwhile, we're sitting on Small Animals Project and no other cards in hand. I'd be a bit scared. But early project into snapping. Snapping makes the most sense here because we have literally 0 cards in hand. Not much point taking a worker because we're on the breaks on 5 out of 9. You didn't have a super stacked hand? Interesting. Well, we can't see it from your point of view right now, but may potentially D-Man saying a misplay, not selling a card. There you go. Thank you, Randall. Hello, by the way. Welcome to the petting zoo. Or welcome back. So it does take snapping. Out of all these, I'd probably be most interested in the Guided School Tours. And I don't mind an upgraded build here. I mean, we have 15 money. We have build at 5 next. We also have Architectural Zoo, which is generally going to be better than Large Animal Zoo. So I think upgrading build here just makes the most sense out of anything. You could also argue for upgraded cards, but we still don't have hand size. Now Furseal shows up. D-Man doesn't snap it up because he hasn't spent his worker yet, so just grabs second university here. Upgrade sponsors. Okay. 50 does now spend an X to snap up the first seal. I'm not sure if I'd spend the X to do it. It is a highly contested card. It's definitely the card that you want out of everything here. But I think with D-Man upgrading sponsors, you're probably safe to assume that he's not going to snap it up this move. He's probably going to play a sponsor. And if he does snap it up, then we can just get out of the round faster with just a draw 3 action. We also get to build. But it does snap it up. Obviously, valuing it maybe a touch higher than I would. Maybe instantly punish not drawing from the deck with low mountain range appearing. Yeah, true, could have also broken 4. That's not a bad idea either. I think in an ideal world, 50 does want to build to sort of get the income up a little, because this is a great chaos spot. Like at least +3 income. You get to build for next round. So I don't mind the idea of building first and then maybe breaking 4 and then doing a full cards action next round. That could work too. D-Man does start with the Talented Communicator. And now that means we just want to break before he gets Partner Zoo, before he gets to spend the worker. So just breaks here with Sponsors 4. Your messages are coming through fine, but maybe it's getting auto-blocked if you try to link something. YouTube is very finicky with links. Or maybe if you're just using bad language, it won't come through. I'm not sure what you're trying to say to me. Very interesting low mountain range plus Marabou combo. Marabou also part of the Birds project, but I think low mountain range is the scarier card here, so I'd be snapping that up. D-Man sees the combo too and just instantly snaps up the Marabou, which I mean still relates to Birds, so perfectly fine snap here. We still think his hand is pretty stacked because he still has 5 of those cards from last round that he did not sunbathe any of. And luckily for D-Man, Africa release shows up straight after that, so can always get a project. Yeah, well, define ripoff with member fees. YouTube get a cut of them. I think they get like 30 or 40%. I don't remember exactly. Kind of interesting. I'm saying interesting too much, but I think 50 right now would have to be wondering like how long he wants to stay in this round for. He does have more money. He does have upgraded build, but D-Man has 2 workers. He has upgraded sponsors. But 50 also wants to play the Guided School Tours at some point. But I guess he can also... Okay, he can also just get a Partners who upgrade animals here, get the first seal down. So it does take Asia as a default. Yeah, exactly. I forgot for a sec, but we did spend the X token to snap this up. So yeah, taking Asia as a default good Partners who plus it's the other base project. No reason not to. Even though you could take Australia and get a 3 money discount immediately, I think just having the Asia icons more useful in the long run. D-Man does build a size 3 for that Marabou we expect. Here is the 5 size. Definitely don't want to draw up sponsorship reptiles, so pretty good draw. And now's a tough decision as to what animal you actually play. Because I'd be very tempted to just play this ostrich straight away, do cards, break 5, just worry about releasing it next round. D-Man does play that Marabou, so it looks like he's going to support 2 birds this round. Yeah, could also potentially leech off the Africa release. You can really do it either way. You can save the low mountain range for later as well. Sunbear we know that Sunbear is in D-Man's hand, But that doesn't mean the Asia Partners is completely useless. It's still an icon for Asia 4 or 5 for a project later. There's still a ton of good animals you can play with it. Like, the giant panda would be a huge consideration because we already have a bear icon down. Like, if you ever find the giant panda here, it's just instantly snappable with Asia Partner Zoo. But does play the Marabou, gets to scavenger card. Now we find the time to play Guided School Tours. I think it's a reasonable time to do it as well. We can assume that means the first seal is coming down next move. And then I think you could either support 2 Americas just to get this university secured, or you could just grab a manual university. But I don't mind doing sponsors first, because we probably do want to break pretty soon after spending this worker. The man does birds and takes snapping. Would only expect Africa release to be snapped up here. Does just upgrade build himself. I mean, it looks... 50 looks in a good position in terms of money, but in terms of card quality, we're really not sure what's in D-Man's hand. Does opt to go with the first seal. I'm not sure if I'd go for just a manual university or just 2 Americas. When you're on 3 out of 5, it is tempting to push for 5, but he really doesn't have any... He doesn't have any way of getting there, and he can sort of divert his attention towards Asia with the chameleon showing up now, which I don't mind either. Okay, D-Man hits back and plays Explorer. Not bad himself there. 50 does cards action. Draws from the deck and hits another Asia icon, actually. I think the kangaroo can just go here. Yeah, exactly. There's still ostrich release. Well, I think he's going to do ostrich release low mountain. It depends how soon D-Man plays the Serengeti National Park. But yeah, it looks like there are enough projects to do for the moment that maybe just 2 Americas is worth doing. It seems like he's doing that as well because he chose not to grab a university that turn. Okay, D-Man just doing some build. Has another sponsor he wants to play. Science Library. If you were to ask me like 3 sponsors to start with at the start of the game, it would be these 3. I would start with these 3. Maybe Tech Institute over Science Library, but Science Library is just so damn strong. Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's very viable to approach it both ways, either doing first seal first or ostrich release first. I think... I was going to say he doesn't want to do ostrich release first because he probably wants to get association upgraded. But if he took the 2 science rep uni from 5, as well as the rep from the low mountain range, he would get to 5 rep and be able to upgrade a Sos. But I think he's mostly looking to release the ostrich with the Serengeti National Park and save low mountain range for later. Because there are a lot of good big birds to release, and he'll probably find one. Side entrance wouldn't be in the top 3, I think. Side entrance is certainly good. Side entrance would probably be top 10. But I think Science Library, Tech Institute, more powerful for me. Maybe even federal grants over it. D-Man does sell a card now. But yeah, he would just do 2 Americas into 5 money, I think's fine. I would have been pretty tempted by 2 size, actually. 2 size helps with architectural. We're eyeing the chameleon, I guess. So, like, even though we don't need it for either of these animals, I think just having the 2 size there for the chameleon is pretty nice for next round. Does get hand size uni. D-Man grabs America's Partner Zoo. Get some more Explorer money from that. Oh yes, sorry, I forgot about Quarantine Lab. Yes, of course. And 50 just breaks here, I guess mostly just to snap up the Veiled Chameleon. True, I mean, the game plan is expensive. 5 size plus Ostrich, yeah. That's a valid point as well. Does snap up the Chameleon, so we have 3 Asia in hand. Compared to, we know D-Man has the Sun Bear in hand. Double uni was possible, but I kind of like saving this uni to cross with. And I'm not convinced he really needs... Oh, true, double uni would have been possible for to get the SOS upgrade as well. That's a good point. But I think just, yeah, the 5 money at this point, or the 2 sizes is worth more than the upgrades. D-Man snaps up a Wombat, which is just going to give him some more tags for Explorer. Starts with another cards action. Yep, we just dump a 5 size down, get to draw up a random card. Takes the project. It could definitely pay off for later. Yeah, you don't have to sell it this early, but random card being Aquarium would have been pretty nice, I think, especially with Hydrologist. That's why we always draw from deck. Power of hindsight, everyone. And now you especially don't want D-Man to get that Aquarium now that he's played Diversity Researcher. He's really pulling out all the powerful sponsors here. I mean, if we look in terms of points and income, 50 is still slightly ahead. And is about to get like another Partner Zoo here. Does play the Ostrich now. Much better. Okay, Predator Breeding is perfect. That's like a beautiful next project after the Low Mountain Range. Choosing not to sell anything just yet. I think now would have been a fine time to sell like the Herbivore Breeding Program. Because we already have 7 out of 5. We're probably going to take a cards action reasonably soon. But I guess we do want to play Hydrologist this round, most likely. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously neither play can do the Herbivore Breeding Program. The question then becomes, is it going to be on average a better card than a random card? The answer to that is probably yes, but sometimes there are cards like Aquarium on the top of the deck and then it's just clearly a better choice, but you can't know that. D-Man grabs the Asia Partner Zoo now, so we know he has 2 icons. I think you could definitely look to do 2 projects this round as 50. I actually am leaning towards starting with the Predator Breeding Program, but because I think this partner is actually reasonably safe. D-Man's about to get his last upgrade. It might be worth doing a cards action now. First, before doing the project, then you can see what D-Man plays, what he upgrades with 5 rep, because if he upgrades cards, which would be the default upgrade, I would say, then we don't have to rush for this Partner Zoo. Like, it even may be worth taking the 3 cards just so this is a dead reward on 8 for D-Man, because he's already got 2 Partner Zoos. Yeah, it does start with cards. I like that a lot, yeah. Denying that Aquarium's useful as well. Not only useful, it's not only good to deny, but also really good for us. And start selling some cards now, yeah. But once again, the old adage is true, always draw from deck. This makes it slightly awkward for D-Man now, actually. Because if he does release the Marabou and 50 gets the Secretary Bird, then that's just a clearly superior release. So I think D-Man's really going to be targeting this. He actually does upgrade a Soso now, though, so it kind of forces us to do the low mountain range and get this partner zoo, I think. I'll start with a Snowy Owl. Ooh. And just the Wombat. Really like this use of combos. Like, first round or second round, D-Man did Barn Owl into Sunbathing, Perception into Sunbathing. Now he's doing Perception into Pouch. Really good timing of abilities here. Yeah, I like that move a lot. Do the project now, do the low mountain range now, get 2 size reward, just play the Veiled Chameleon, snap up Secretary Bird. That's a very good line. I'm actually not sure why we'd want to do sponsors first, actually. If this is to break, then no. But it must be to play Aquarium. Oh. I mean, I think I actually see where he's going with this. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I think he's potentially looking at getting the ×2 right now. Getting the reputation to upgrade a Sos before he does the ×2. That allows him to steal the first 2 donations. As well as just doing the double project right now. But I'd be a bit concerned about not having this later in the game. But the fact is we're also spending an X to do this. And leaving our Sos at 5 not doing anything at the moment. Does get a Sos upgraded. I mean, the partner zoo is still secured. Yeah, I agree. That's the downside as well. We are leaving the Secretary Bird. Which I would assume D-Man's going to snap up next move. So we do lose tempo on building the 2 size and playing the Veiled Chameleon for it. I mean, so there's good and bad parts. We have to see how the game plays out. Just using Diversity Researcher to build around kiosks, I like a lot. Although, very deliberately placing on top of water could suggest that D-Man has Naturalist Zoo. If he has Naturalist, that's really scary as well, because there's a lot of empty space here. Okay, we start with the low mountain range into second uni, fine. We do get the second worker from the third partner zoo here, but correctly chooses to discard endgames first, so keeps architectural. I guess you'd just take Africa with the Agama and Secretary Bird being here. Does get second uni, so all upgrades are here. Upgrades cars. Oh, so actually gets all 4 workers now. Donation 2. Please get out of the way there. And just following up with the Predator breeding program. Yeah, into size 2 now, which is to be expected. Takes the native lizards, actually. Not bad value at all. We put the 2 size, just touching more rocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Potentially like 5 or 6 or 7, depends if he wants to build again. Draws randomly, hits a lesser Bird of Paradise, which could still be interesting if he decides... Well, I guess 4 birds is a very long way away. Yeah, just sells it immediately, and I would donate there. I think with D-Man upgrading Assos, just take the 5 donation away. But it kind of suggests that he wants to do a full build action. I think donating there is fine. Maybe even just putting the 2 sides over the Clever now, clevering back build. So I'm not convinced that we need to build again immediately. D-Man now playing Waza Large. Actually, interestingly, does not snap up the Secretary Bird this turn. Just plays his sponsor. Another really strong upgraded sponsor as well, though. Yeah, I like this a lot. Doing cards now, get that Secretary Bird. I'm pretty sure that means D-Man is just going to release the Marabou with the low mountain range and just sell or maybe even pouch the Serengeti National Park earlier. Good call, Robert. Yeah, scavenging that Waza Large from the Marabou. That's good information to have, actually. Because that was in 50's opening hand. I did forget about that. Good call. D-Man just doing a project, most likely just releasing the Marabou. Does get 3x tokens here. Gets 2 size himself, covering more rocks, so now I'm really confident he has Natural Sue. Otherwise you'd just be incentivized to build over normal spots in case you ever do fill map, which is unlikely, but still. Does get that donation at 5 as well. Okay, we're building a 3 size for Sloth Bear. It's a good chaos spot. 1 size as well for the Chameleon. It's fine. Don't know if I'm the biggest fan of using the Clever right now, but I guess we can Clever back animals, play the native lizards. Maybe we can play Hydrologist during break. D-Man starts with cards, draws from deck. Yep, native lizards for all 7 after that build action. Yep, could definitely grab Uni here. 3rd Uni still has some value. There's also some merit to just leaving Assos at 5. What's our next project, actually? I guess actually we don't have a project, so could have definitely grabbed 3rd Uni there. D-Man's not done yet. He plays Breeding Program. So that's a little bit scary. We still know he has the Sun Bear. Sun Bear is Asia 3, Breeding Program's Asia 4. Now just causing the break with cards action. Yeah, so... But I think there is another argument to grabbing the Uni in that we have a boost Assos anyway with a Sloth Bear, which we're probably playing as the next animal. So I think grabbing the 3rd Uni would be perfectly fine here. Draws big though, Siberian Tiger with our empty 5 size. That's massive. Engineer. The time for Engineer's probably passed. We still have Architectural Zoo, but I find it very unlikely we're going to be able to play this and fill map. I don't think there's enough time. Asian Elephant. Sells the Secretary Birds here. Out of all these, we'd just probably discard Waza Special during the break. Keep the project just in case we hit something. Most interesting card here would be I would say the Ibex. You don't really want to give rock icons to the person with diversity researcher, even though D-Man doesn't have any water at the moment. Does get that 2 size for hydrologists. So actually connects to the last water at the same time, so now has 2 CP on architectural and the hydro endgame. I mean, the position looks okay, but still has used the ×2 right now, even though he has a 30-point lead. Money's about the same. Enclosures is about the same. Both have a ton of empty enclosures. Yeah, very nice hydro with the aquarium already played. Malayan Taper appears for D-Man, who's most likely just going to snap that up. If he didn't have 5 Asia now, he certainly does with Sunbear Taper. Or actually decides to get the ×2 this turn as well. Might be thinking this is the last round to use it, which could definitely be true. Well, you say it's an early ×2, but is it that early? Because 50's already used his. If anything, it's a late ×2. But in the context of the game, it does feel quite early as well, because he's on 26 points. Does start with a Langer in a size 3. Doesn't have to play the Sunbear now, but definitely could as well. Yeah, I think it's reasonable enough to get it out here. Snark Nova is #1 in Age of Ranks website from all YouTubers lists. As in #1 board game across all YouTubers lists. I hope they included mine in that, though I find it very unlikely they did. But that's cool to know. I'm a little bit surprised actually. I thought Brass being #1 on BGG would have made #1. Okay, just immediately going for the double project. Yeah, it does have Asia 5. Just starts with the Predator breeding. Why not? What's my board game? My #1 board game is Snark Nova. I mean my list of top board games, not my own board game. I have not created a board game. Yeah, so I do like using the Sunbear here because both players are still fighting for these cheaper donations. Now, D-Man's just taken the 2nd, 3rd, and probably 4th cheap donation here. That's pretty important. He's going to decide to spend X's to get 3rd Partner Zoo as well for that last worker. And still has uni rewards, so his cross is going to feature a double science uni. But yeah, most likely he's taking X tokens here. Does do Asia 5. Donates 10 as well. Actually now has a point lead, crazily enough. And 50's kind of in an awkward position with no project to do right now. But that could also be a reason why the Ibex is here. Could potentially grab Europe Partners who play that herbivore breeding program. Yeah, in fact, it's going to start with Europe Partner Zoo and just two rep. Not donating for 12, which I think is the correct move. 12 is a bit too expensive right now. Especially when we have Tiger that we want to play. Super expensive. So I mean, next move could play just Slothbear into Ibex. I would expect D-Man might just break after that happens. Like, might do cards into break immediately. Oh, just break immediately. Just sponsor 6. That's funny, because I missed that as well, yeah. No real reason to grab 3rd Partner Zoo here. Because D-Man still doesn't have 8 rep. Interesting. How important is that 12 money going to be? I mean, after the break, I mean, just having the X tokens would have been very nice, obviously. Being able to, like, grab them this round. Another interesting... Okay, 2 sides over the rock and the card draw. Yeah, don't need to grab the rep. I think also made a really good decision to upgrade a Sos over cards. Like, cards upgrade would have done nothing at the moment. Yep, does get that next project with the Langer, so gets to snap up jungle here. That is interesting. I would expect all the sort of top BGG games to be very similar to that list. Yeah, it displays all sponsors. 50 decides to snap up the spokesperson. But I don't think it particularly matters. They're all pretty unplayable. Maybe the expert in Australia would be more points than the spokesperson, but most likely none of them get played. Nice 2 size location over the X token and the 2 hydrologist money. Yeah, just spending an X now for animals. Don't know if we want the P-Fowl, because I think we're just playing now Sloth Bear Tiger. Oh, I guess we still want to play the Ibex to do the project. So like Ibex or P-Fowl Ibex. I guess maybe the boost is not that useful because after this project there's really nothing to do. No projects to do. Then again, there's still 4 Asia to do after, so could be saving the boost for later as well. But I don't really think we have time to build a 3 size enclosure. Bamboo Forest appears now, which is actually another project to do. Okay, D-Man plays Lesser Flamingo. That's good for his diversity researcher endgame. Just gets 2 appeal from that now with the water tag. Oh, gets the clever as well. Straight into Golden Eagle. Determination battle. Does the jungle project into 12 money now? So it turns out the order didn't really matter that much. Although, yeah, this was a pretty wasted third partner zoo. Takes 12 money over the university as well. So I wonder if he's just going to finish with a double animals action. And obviously calculating that the extra 12 money is going to be worth more than 1 CP. Okay, 50 does the herbivore breeding program. The nice thing about that is if... No, never mind. I was going to say if D-Man does end this turn, we get the X token from 15 rep to be able to play double animals. But just takes X tokens anyway. Does donate 12 because he's only going to play 2 of these animals. Most likely just Tiger plus Sloth Bear. You can sell the Chameleon. But D-Man actually decides to delay the game 1 more turn by playing Arcade. Could be a good call as well. Arcade's just 2 extra appeal. 50 could consider causing break here. I don't know that it does that much. Could also just consider playing Bamboo Forest from range, actually. Spend all the X tokens. But then we can only play 1 animal. Bamboo Forest is plus 5 points, so it's not actually better than playing the Sloth Bear, I guess. Plus, it does not help us win Arcade endgame against D-Man. Oh, of course, there's no room for the bear. Well, then maybe Bamboo Forest is a consideration if we just... It means we can't afford the Chameleon, though. Yeah, okay, it does sell the Sloth Bear. Yeah, I mean, we can also just play the Bamboo Forest straight from range, but the problem with playing animals now is that we just cross with the points from the Tiger. But it looks like he's choosing to cross this move. That's why I didn't mind the Expert on Odds, because that would be a... Expert on Odds would be a decent, like, waiting move in between. Because I think D-Man is fairly out of things to do. Maybe slightly concerned that D-Man would do cards and find a better animal. Okay, does play Chameleon. Into Tiger, just crosses here. We'll see what D-Man has as final animals, but... endgames at the moment, 2 from Architectural, 1 from Hydro. Does hit Guided School Tools as well. So, I mean... 4 shields. D-Man has... D-Man does not have Communicator right now, actually. Does have some from Diversity. Does have the 5 projects of Breeding Program. Might hit Arcade, but extremely unlikely to. Okay, there is that Taper from before. Not a bad finish. Taper plus... Macaw's a very decent last animal. Like, it gives 7 appeal. And Taper actually does give the rep to hit the Communicator endgame. That's true. I don't think the order matters too much, but if animals is your better action to do, then I guess getting to 99 is fine. But also, you might just be able to do cards and find a better animals to play. Yeah, deliberately choosing to cover up water and rocks there. Hydro, School Tools, Science Library, Communicator, Breeding Program, Diversity, 4 from Naturalist. 124 to 121, D-Man pulls out the win. Eight plus 7 is pretty good. I think you could find slightly better than the Taper if we were to do another action in drawing cards before playing animals. Like, if 50 was delaying the game, then the reputation from the Taper wouldn't matter. But I mean, I still think it's a decent animal pair to finish on. And looking at how tight the money was, I can't help but think not donating for 5, like, really did cost 50 the game, to be honest. Like, just securing that cheap donation yourself instead of donating 12 in the last round, you get a 5 donation earlier, you make D-Man spend 7 and 10 for his donations. I think the money was that tight that it was probably the difference not donating at 5. I think that's a good lesson too. Like, when both players have a SOS upgraded, those first 2 and even 3 donations, even if you're donating like a bit more than you can afford to, it's just making it more expensive for the opponent as well. I think not donating at 5 was a big mistake. But otherwise, I mean, pretty solid game. Good awareness to get that aquarium there. Deny it from D-Man. D-Man did have the 2 extra actions with Sun Bear into Asia 5 and the Eagle. And I actually think the early times 2 did work out pretty well for 50 there. It did give him that 30-point lead, and D-Man only just caught it up with like the last action. But very close game. D-Man also had a maxed out Naturalist Zoo, which is something you don't often see. And it was 5 projects apiece, so like a worse endgame, and D-Man loses that as well. I'm not actually sure how many good endgames D-Man can actually have. Like, diverse species wouldn't win the game. Small animals would be at 8, so even that wouldn't win the game. Yeah, congratulations, D-Man, on becoming Snark Nova 4 champion. So in the Emu Cup Discord, he does have that title of champion. Emu Cup. And because the semifinals are broken, we're just going to, for the second game, look at a random D-Man game. I picked this one out. Norpal's also a member of the Discord that's pretty active. This was a nice and close game between them from a few days ago, so I decided to pick this one. Looking at this from D-Man's perspective to celebrate his Snark Nova victory. So here we are on outdoor areas. D-Man is the second player. Projects are Primates, Asia, and Europe. And I mean, kind of similar to the first game, it's not really the cards that you want to see in an opening hand here. Basically, no playable sponsor. There is one project, which I think you always keep to speculate on, but the animals aren't too bad. There's 2 cheap Europe tags with Europe as a project. There is a Primate tag. I think it's pretty clear cut that you keep these. But we will not be watching on Very Fast. Very Fast is a little bit too jarring for me. I think Fast is a good speed. And the display is just full of projects here. None of them really help us though. There's 2 releases, we don't have any matching tags. There's breeding program, we don't have a predator, don't have any large animals. Spokesperson could be the most interesting card here, but I expect we just want to draw from deck. But Norpal is first player. Does start with that 2-rep uni, so wouldn't be surprised at all if he snapped up Spokesperson. Maybe he already has something like a Foreign Institute as well, though. D-Man just draws from deck. Hits a 4th Europe icon, okay. What are the end goals? Conservation and Climbing Park. I mean, now as D-Man, you'd be very tempted to just start Europe Partner Zoo and get up all these small reptiles. That's 4 Europe right there. Does discard the Petting Zoo. Norpal does snap up the Spokesperson. Did kind of expect it. I think it's a strong enough start. It would especially make sense if he had like a Research Zoo endgame or a Favorite Zoo endgame. Vet shows up, which is something that Norpal's going to be eyeing as well. Okay, D-Man does start Europe. Even more reason to grab the Science 2 rep. Norpal starts with an aquarium here. And I assume the placement's just going to be in the top right. Yeah, just sort of hugging the player sponsor for money spot. D-Man does play Expert and Predators, which, when it doesn't match a base project, normally something you don't really want to waste time playing. But I think specifically on outdoor areas, it's perfectly fine to do it because just the extra money that's going to give you throughout the game is pretty impactful on this map. There's no money on the floor. And D-Man also wants time to build like 3 single enclosures and get all these animals out. So he's fine with having a longer round, but it is worth noting Norpal does have Spokesperson to play still. So I think Norpal's pretty happy as well. Does build a 3 size. Now that's very curious. Instead of building a 3 size here, you could definitely build a 2 size just touching the gate, and it does the same job. Definitely, yeah. It's also not touching water. Could be a jumping animal for sure. Could be like a cougar, in which case he's looking at the savannah. D-Man starts with a curious building location himself with a 2 size touching this rock in the top right. I think I would have been pretty tempted to start over the Reputation. Both are about the same distance from the Partner Zoo. Norpal does cards which, I mean, really screams jumping 3 animal. I think D-Man will be able to read that as well. And yeah, break it 6 out of 9, jumping 3, incoming. Everyone knows it's coming, so D-Man just plays animals. Starts with a squirrel monkey. Yeah, it gives you the most appeal, it gives you the most income. You already have the 2 size. If there is a break, which we expect, then you're just discarding Bamboo Forest, which I think is fine. Does Cleverback build, which I think is fine. Maybe, I don't think, well, I guess there's no real reason to Cleverback cards here. Okay, Norpal has the Langer. I mean, very nice double related project for Norpal. Bamboo Forest does go. Tough spot now. If you are D-Man, do you snap up the jungle? It gives you the instant project to do, but also your opponent's just able to leech off it with a better animal. And it also means that Vet's still sitting here, which means, I guess, if we do snap up the jungle, then we do the project and take snapping for Vet. I think you... I'm not sure. I think you do snap it up at the very least. Actually just makes the bold decision to draw from deck, and it kind of pays off, like Golden Eagle, King Vulture, America's Release. America's Release, funnily enough, also another project for the Squirrel Monkey. Honestly, I think I would have snapped up jungle, and it would have turned out to be the wrong move in hindsight. Oh, Eagle also 5th Europe tag, and just an amazing draw. Norpal does start with a spokesperson. Well, now I'm pretty confident Norpal's just going to do something like X-Back build, snap up the jungle himself, release the Langer. So I would fully expect D-Man here to do the monkey release and snap up jungle away. Yes, always draw from deck. Indeed, this is the move. Take snapping. Does upgrade build. When you want to build 3 small enclosures, I think that can really be the only choice, unless he wanted to take a 2-size reward, which could have worked. But I think denying the jungle here is very important. Just take those projects away. Norpal builds a 1-size over player sponsor for money, which could just suggest that he has a second primate to play. Or just plays a breeding program. Okay, that makes sense. Gets the spokesperson down for the breeding program. Now he can just support primates at 2. Or Asia at 2, but I think primates at 2 would be the project to do. D-Man not worrying at all about getting build higher, just building 3 here. Just 1-size Chaos Pavilion. Spotted Hyena Compound. So it turns out that one little decision to play Expert and Predators last round is really paying off now. And I think, honestly, you might not be able to find a better card with that random card draw. Because it fits perfectly over the Partner Zoo. It is just the perfect matching card for the sponsor you've already played. Wow. And your sponsor is at 5 when you really want a sponsor. Incredible draws. Norpal takes 2-size instead of snapping. D-Man going to be happy seeing that, because D-Man really wants this Fox now. But Norpal might just snap it up. We saw he just took 2-size and took the Africa release, so I think he'd be looking at the Fox as well. And does have cards at 5. Yeah, here we go. Hyena Compound over the Partner Zoo. Hunt first, D-Man. Hunt first. No reason not to hunt first. Takes Asia as default, but like, what if you hit a hippo or something? Then you want Africa, right? Just hunt first. It does hit the chameleon, so I guess it doesn't matter. Norpal draws from deck himself. Not snapping the Fox up even after he sees the Predator's combo down here. But could suggest that he has an Africa animal to release anyway. Hand size would be pretty good. I think we can get away without hand size for a little while. We don't mind discarding the jungle. We're about to play 2 of these animals. Playing the grass tank first to most likely just clever back cards here. Yeah, clever back cards would allow us to build a 3 size and a 1 size. Then we can basically start next round with Eagle plus Slowworm into Europe 5. As for the rewards here, it looks to me like D-Man would like the 2 rep to be able to get to 5 rep, upgrade a Sos, and then get the partner zoo on 8. I think that would be the correct line for rewards. Norpal builds a 1/3 size. There's still this vet here, which he should be very interested in. But I guess he's going to do animals next move into maybe upgrading sponsors to be able to play vet, depending on how much money he has. Yeah, there is that 5 size for the Eagle. There's the 1 size for the Slowworm. Perfect money to play both as well. Norpal does upgrade sponsors. Doesn't have any money though, just plays the Gariza. Most likely is going to break 5 next move. Which is a bit of a shame, because I do expect D-Man will snap up the vet during the break. I mean, it's good for D-Man, it's a shame for Norpal. Actually decides to play the Slowworm this turn. Would have considered doing something like a break 4 move. Could be slightly concerned that Norpal actually has an upgraded sponsor to play, but I think this is just break 5. Things get weird here. Oh, I love to hear that. I think the Slowworm is the start of a bit of a weird move, because I don't really see why. It seems like a bit of a wasted action. You get 2 appeal, which is maybe 1 income. And Norpal's... okay, not breaking. Plays a Penguin Pool. That's scary to see when he has Aquarium down. Takes Europe as well. Matches the base project. Yeah, then I guess we just cause the break. Why not? Probably snap away the vet, although there's arguments for the fox as well. There's arguments for the water dragon as well. It being an Asia tag plus a water tag for Aquarium. And now Communicator as well. Wow. Display just got stacked all of a sudden. I mean, now out of all the options, it's just the Communicator. But really don't want Norpal to get vet or Chinese water dragon. Oh my god, and now Ornithologist to go with the Penguin Pool. This is the other slight problem with breaking first. Norpal does get to start with the project. Does give him +4 CP. Does take snapping. I mean, I think snapping makes sense with vet, Chinese water dragon, and Orni on display. Actually, you want all of them. Does take the 2 rep because it's nice to get that 8 reputation for the second worker. Yeah, it does prioritize Orni out of all of them, which I think is correct as well. D-Man actually saying, I'm just going to save this Eagle and just do Europe on 4. That's another tough question. Yeah, it does do Europe. Do we think... we play the Eagle now for the extra CP? It's tough, because there's also a benefit to blocking it at 4, making Norpal go to 5 is a lot tougher. Especially because we've taken like 3 of the cheaper Europe tags off the grid. But there is some merit to saving the eagle for later, but we also still don't have hand size, so it's gonna sit in the hand for a little while. It does take 5 money and 5 money, not even the 3 size. I mean, really saving up for something. Might be looking to use the eagle to snipe the partner zoo. But yeah, the problem is because Norpal got the 2 rep, we actually can't get to 8 now and get the partner zoo because Asos is not upgraded. The key was getting the 2 rep to get to 5 and upgrade Asos. Then we could grab 3rd partner zoo. But it's not really clear how we get the reputation then. I guess it is clear. We have to build over the rep spot on the map and do an upgraded animals action. Norpal draws all from deck. And just as I say that, is this the eagle coming down now? When you said that things get weird from here, I never expected to see the chameleon in the 5 size. Is this purely a play to block the water dragon here? Because if so, we can just snap it up with the cards action. But we're essentially wasting 8 money in enclosures and tempo for the eagle. Oh, actually, okay. Hold up. The plan is just build a reptile house, then we get all the enclosures back. Yeah, sometimes I forget that reptile houses exist. I mean, that's cute then. It was for the Chinese water dragon, yeah. I just forget they exist sometimes. Norpal does play as ornithologist, so has scary birds. It's like birds versus predators right now, but there's no predators being played. Spends an X to build the reptile house. I guess. Yeah, I'm actually still quite surprised Norpal is not playing the vet. Could definitely use it to draw the vet away, but you could also just draw the fox, which is just perfect. I think I kind of like the fox more because we just have all these empty 1 sizes now. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, we already have 2 1-size animals. Cheetah. Noble's gonna spend an X token for animals here, actually getting up to 9 reputation. Probably just gonna grab University next move to upgrade cards. Plays the Barn Owl with the bird combo. Dude, what? What, dude? Okay, so just a single Barn Owl. Oh, I actually see the line from Norpal as well. I like this a lot. No, actually, no, I don't see it. I was going to say he gets the double science uni, upgrades cards, gets the extra CP to get to 8, but he's only on 6. So he needs to find one more way to get another CP. D-Man's just going to... Still no hand size. Could definitely draw from deck, because you're going to do sunbathing next move, I think. But, I mean, the cheat is also worthwhile. Cheetah gives you 6 money back, as well as hunting like 8, or hunting 10 potentially. Or double hunt 5, in other words. Unfortunately, reveals the White Stork, which is our like perfect card for Norpal, Europe project, bird. Oh, very true. Release for cheetah. Yes, yes, yes. We're gonna focus up here. There is an Africa release which Norpal used earlier on the Gariza. That is open. Okay, does go for the double science uni line. Upgrades cards, draws the vet. Yeah, I like drawing the vet here. Also puts the White Stalk in range, which would be very interested in. But it looks like D-Man's probably just going to play Fox into Water Dragon and Sunbathe some cards. Does get a Hunt 1. Gets a nice Hunt on a cheaper Asia tag when we already have a 2 size. Plays this, then you can just Sunbathe Communicator plus Jungle. You could keep Jungle. I mean, we now have a release for it, but I don't think we're ever discarding Eagle or Cheetah here. So I like that decision, because I think D-Man's next 2 projects are Cheetah release, and he only needs 1 more Asia to find Asia 5. I mean, Norpal himself only needs 2 more Europe to find Europe 5. He still has that breeding program cube. He has the White Stalk here, so I would expect him to draw it up this move. He's going to opt to play Vet first. Although, I think it's a slight mistake, because D-Man's going to break 5 here and just snap up the Stalk during the break. I think that's a pretty important card for Norpal to get. But he also does not have hand size, and probably doesn't want to discard too much in his hand, so it's understandable as well. It's crazy that both players are like on the edge of getting to 8 CP, but D-Man still does not have the 5 reputation needed. So it seems like it's just Norpal's partner zoo for the taking. But yeah, as D-Man, the Caracal is very tempting, but just have to deny the Stalk here. I see. That's a very bold choice. Archie hit 2 CP Polar Bear exhibit. That is something that I don't see too often. I've seen it once or twice. So very big congratulations on that. Any game where you play 5 or 6 bears is incredibly fun. Norpal does get the Stalk here. Does get to build a 4 size for it immediately. Clever's back build. And with the Clever gets to do an association first, or I mean, if he doesn't have a project, can just grab 3rd University here. That works as well for getting the partner zoo. Yeah, it is just going to be 3rd Uni. Gives a 2 CP, gives the vet endgame. No reason not to take it at some point. Yeah, grabs Asia partner zoo. Denies the Caracal, although I think... Yeah, no, I think denying the Predator just is probably correct, and of course reveals an even better card, as you always do. Always draw from deck. D-Man playing the Cheetah right now, so he can... Well, I guess playing the Mamba first into the Cheetah, so the Venom affects Norpal. But Cheetah just has to be played here so we can release it immediately. But, I mean, good Venom timing. It's going to be very annoying bleeding this money, because Norpal really does not want to touch build at all. So this is just going to, like, bleed money for the next 2 or 3 turns. Alright, this hunt is going to break the replay. But again, with the order, I think you always sprint first, and then you can make the decisions on what you keep. Because what if your sprint actions give you America's release, or I don't know, Europe release, and then you hunt into a bison here, like Africa release. Whoa, okay, Africa release. It's already up. Baboon Rock dies. We're releasing the cheetah anyway, so don't really see any reason. You probably just keep the P-Fal. Well, okay, yeah, P-Fal is perfect. It's the 5th Asia tag we need. Out of all these, I probably like the Badger the most. Just another cheap predator. We're going to get 2-size reward most likely, so it just fits in with those, but Brown Bear has a lot of upside as well, if we can ever find a bear to activate it. Okay, with the sprint action does hit another Asia animal. And Hydro, pretty nice Hydro. Normal just straight up does animals at 4 to play the Komodo Dragon from range. So does actually get him to 4 Asia. He still has that breeding program cube, which he could use for Asia or Europe. But playing it first suggests that he doesn't have any more Asia in his hand. Otherwise, you'd play the Asia first, then the Iconic. So he just is going to play the Stork. The nice thing about the Stork is now you are more incentivized to just X-back build twice. You get the 2X tokens, you get rid of the Venom token. And now the Eurasian Lynx appears, which is the card well, it's an amazing card for both players. I could definitely see spending an extra snap it up here. To be fair though, D-Man already has enough things to do. Like, his hand is full of animals. Chooses not to snap it up though, just releases Cheetah, takes 12 money. Conservation Zoo looks decent enough here, much better than Climbing Park. Takes 5 money instead of playing the Hydro. That's fine, but also does take 12 money as a reward instead of 2-size. But I guess he already has 3 empty enclosures. I'm not sure what's in Norpal's hand, but I think incredibly greedy not drawing up the links here. Does play Medical Breakthrough, which I mean, can't complain about playing that. It's +4 appeal, it's going to give at least 1 CP. There will be at minimum 1 more break. Does give the rep from Spokesperson. If he does have like Research Zoo, it's now maxed out. But fully expecting D-Man to snap away the links with this move. And the links is like the 5th Europe tag. I think pretty greedy not drawing it up for Norpal. Does use this turn to double X-back build, which we did expect. D-Man is going to do a little build action. I guess just going to build some, well, at least a 3-size. 2-size. It's 37 to 45, so must have calculated money here. I guess wants to play P-Fal plus Dusky Leaf for 5 Asia. Or even Pilfer. Single Pilfer instead of P-Fal could work. And this is even more of a reason to take the links away. Norpal has Europe release. Releases the Stork, which is a great release, but Lynx is basically an equal release to it. So the question is, does Norpal have enough to do to finish the game before D-Man can really get these cards out? Because now the plan changes for D-Man. Now we're always playing the Lynx here. Because it's just a very nice next project to do. Like, I would aim to do Lynx plus Dusky Leaf maybe this turn. Or even play Hydro first. Yeah, don't need to rush really. Norpal draws cards now. Why not Eagle? And he can see, D-Man can save the Eagle for later in the game. I don't think there's any reason to play the Eagle right now. Or actually, with that project, Norpal actually goes ahead in CP. So it does get double pilfered here. I think just the timing on the double pilfer makes it worth playing it first over the links. Yeah, okay, looks like just going for Asia 5 can clever back build, or even we can clever back cards here because we can still do a build action. We don't really need to draw any more cards to finish this game, I think. Wow, Norpal actually does not break here, which I think is fine because neither player has any workers, but plays Bard Owl Hut. Just now the ultimate bird combo. Penguin Pool, Orny, Bard Owl Hut. Where's it going as well? Still has some empty enclosures. 5 cards in hand. Slight point lead. D-Man's main advantage is 5 Asia plus Eagle, which is a pretty significant advantage. Plus can close out the game with Links plus Release. I mean, if you play like Eagle Links, that is a maxed out iconic link, so it's 10 plus 7. And then the release is just amazing. Okay, builds a 2 size. Get the rep. It's fine. Yeah, 3 sides for the links. Might as well build a pavilion for the extra point because we have enough money. Norpal X's back build. Wouldn't be surprised to just see spending an X to break here. Ah, this is true. D-Man only has 1 worker. So, I mean, that's a good point. D-Man's going to need another break here. I wonder if Norpal can finish. Norpal doesn't have. Neither player has a ton of money. Yeah, 1 worker's a slight issue. Like, it means the onus is really on D-Man to cause the next break. Because Norpal can just grab worker from reward here for whichever project he does next. Kind of fortunate that D-Man calls the break here so we can snap away that science lab. Although Norpal's going to be very happy with the primate breeding here. Might have been searching for projects to do because he can do 2 Asia, but we don't know of any other projects. Oh my god, and now Science Museum. Still think you snapped the project away. Maybe not. I mean, he can get both. He can get both. Chooses not to, which, I mean, tells us he has another size 4 animal, or at least a size 4 that touches rock. Hey, Tobiko. Very interested what Norpal has here. Rhino. Technically he puts Rhino in the wrong enclosure. You'd be pretty upset if you found like the other Rhino now, I guess, and it needed to touch rock. What project can we do with the Rhino? Okay, we have the Caracal species diversity. How close is that to ending the game? Rhino project plus donation plus science museum should be really close to ending, right? I think it does end in 3 turns. I mean, in 2 turns. How on earth does D-Man get out of this one? Well, yeah, okay, we take Asia, we have to take X tokens. Donations well to get up to 72. Eagle plus break is not fast enough. Norpal also gets to grab last worker here. Could also just grab the CP, so I don't know that we need to spend the X tokens, but I mean, most likely it's just going to... It's interesting. Maybe the idea could have been play Science Museum first and then cross with species diversity. It does grab Africa into species as we expected. Takes X tokens. But doesn't have another worker to do a project, so actually could get stuck here. Science Museum is +4 plus some money. I guess he still has an end if he plays Science Museum and then grabs like 2 rep plus donation. I'm just wondering if D-Man can cause the break before then, because I think he can, right? Like, Eagle plus links into cards and then break 7. Hunts into a crocodile, okay. Does that end? X is to play Expert Enlarge and Science Museum. Science Museum is +4. Expert Enlarge is only +2, so we get stuck on 99. Unless I'm forgetting something, but I don't think I am. Could have also been really pushing for that 5th project for the breeding program endgame. D-Man's extra action is actually just a build. I think he assumes Norpal can end in 1 turn, so he's just going to build like a... Build a what? Builds a 3 size for the P-Fowl, but cannot afford it. Does get the clever though, so okay. It basically does the same thing actually. He's just threatening to break 9 next move. And then he can release the links, or he can play P-Fowl, whatever. I think P-Fowl's probably worth more. Actually, links release is just better. Links release is a +10 projects. It's pretty amazing. But maybe if D-Man can play double animal, then P-Fowl plus other animals better. Yeah, there is a Science Museum. Norpal has all the X tokens, but no 4th worker. I think he's actually miscalculated. I think he should have just not spent the X tokens, just grabbed worker. Oh my god, I forgot about the croc. I forgot the reptile house was just sitting here. I was looking at this being like, we have the croc, but where does it go? I mean, okay, it just goes in here. Well, now it's a very obvious break 9 move just into P-Fowl croc. We could even find a sponsor to play with the pavilion we get. Find a sponsor during the break. Thank you for reminding me. It shows how often I build them. I should probably build them more. Oh my god, Geologist is like... Once again, I don't think you could ask for a better card to appeal. Geologist is perfect. 6 appeal immediately, plus the endgame is hit. Would Nile-Croc be too... I mean, yes. I think it's very, very reasonable that it takes 3 slots in the Reptile House. Because it's a fantastic value animal when you can play it. It's 13 money for 9 appeal. Well, 13 money plus the enclosure size, however you want to calculate that. How does Norpal close out this game? Might just be doing an animals action himself. but is still interested in the projects for the breeding program endgame. But I mean, the Tamarin appearing should just mean just snap up the Tamarin play animals. Oh, actually, crosses during the break. Okay, forgot about medical breakthrough there. I mean, yeah, this is definitely going to be the last turn. There's no posturing. Decision to draw a card over instead of grabbing the one guaranteed point. Norpal might feel he's behind here. Looking for just a better card. That's a good... Well, it's an interesting decision as well. Do you take the random card draw or do you take the guaranteed 1 point with the rep? But it does just play animals. So I assume Ivex was just always going to be the default one and then Tamarin to go with it. I mean, not a bad ending, but doesn't have many endgame showing, has vet and that's about it. Yeah, card draw if you feel you need a miracle. I don't know. I think one guaranteed point is nice, but maybe the 1 point just doesn't make a difference. Yeah, D-Man does finish with animals here. Might as well snap up whatever, just to... Yeah, I don't think you'll ever find a better sponsor than Geologist in this position. P-Val into playing Geologist is massive here. Endgame Conservation Zoo for 2. I mean, Geologist is probably just the game-winning card, right? They're going to finish on 114 each. But Geologist gave him plus 9 points in the final turn. Otherwise, his endgames are pretty shot. Vet, or only 1 from Large Animal Zoo, 2 from Conservation, 126 to 120. Yeah, Geologist was the game-winning card there. That was a pretty weird game, but very cool. Yeah, so I was saying Norpal should have grabbed the links, gone for Europe 5, but obviously in his hand he had the Rhino the whole time and could see a line where he can finish with the Rhino and Species project, so fine decision in the end. The links release didn't come back to bite him because D-Man finished with animals, and it would have been a win for Norpal until the Geologist showed up. Perfect combination of P-Fowl plus Crocodile last turn. And yeah, D-Man doing the classic finishing with 1 worker for the game. Done 4 projects with that 1 worker. Finishing on 7 rep. It did feel like a lot of animals 3 actions. And I thought it might come back to bite you because not having the rep did cost you the Assos upgrade earlier. Very cool. The Predators did a lot of work. Hydro and Geo. But over here on Norpal's side, Aquarium didn't do a lot, to be honest. Where's the other water tags? After Aquarium Penguin Pool, there was just nothing. No water at all. There was the Water Dragon, which got snapped up from D-Man. So yeah, maybe a bit unfortunate there. The bird combo popped off though. Vet was amazing. All the science, medical breakthrough, science museum. Yeah, really good game. So congrats again, D-Man, on your Snark Nova victory. Next edition is not going to be for quite a while. I think maybe 3 or 4 months away. So enjoy your title for the next couple of months. Oh yeah, Cheetah Plus release was massive. But yeah, that's all we're going to look at today. Special announcement for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the Ostrich Olympics November Grand Final between D-Man himself and Blanket Addict. So I will be looking to commentate that tomorrow, about this time tomorrow. So everyone tune in for that. It'll be on the Emu Friends YouTube channel, not this YouTube channel. But yeah, otherwise, see you guys tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, then see you guys on Sunday for the BGA stream. Have a good one. And go Emus.